Hello? Hello?
I will not be using this mic.
Yeah.
Hello besties, welcome back to my channel. Notice anything different? Maybe? No? It's my apartment. I got a new apartment. I officially made the move from Daejeon all the way to Busan. Maybe like a week ago, and I still haven't left my house. Anyway, enough ranting about me. Let's talk about what this video is about. So on this list, these are the top 5 ways America has ruined me. And what I mean by that are these are the ways that I thought as an American living in America who's never left America. Because heads up guys, when I was in the US, in Georgia, I had stayed in Georgia my entire life. Maybe I went to Florida for like once or twice for like the beach, but basically I never left Georgia. And also Georgia is in the South, so what do we say about the South? Controversial, yes. Conservative, yes. So from my perspective, growing up in Georgia, in the South, in the US, these are the ways my mindsets were and how they changed when I came to Korea. Now, disclaimer, because I don't want you guys to come at me in the comments. These are my opinions and my observations. So if you don't agree with those, that's fine, that's cool. I'm really excited to hear about your experiences. But however, these are just my experiences. Yeah, first thing that I want to talk about is healthcare. So this is kind of widely known. Also, really quick, if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my little notes, so I can stop ranting and I can be on track. As you guys might have known, if you guys are from the US, healthcare, even if you're not from the US, healthcare system, how can I say, it's not it, okay? It's not giving, as the teenagers will say. I don't really know, I'm kind of old. If you have, like, if you break your leg, if you have a cold, if you have something, it's so incredibly expensive that going to the doctor is like the least important thing. The thing you think about like first is, can I afford to go there? And usually it's a no. So in America, we don't really have a good healthcare system. Even if you like break your leg, we ain't calling the ambulance. Don't call me the ambulance. I can't handle it. I can't pay for that unless you gonna pay for it for me, kind of thing. So healthcare in the US, top 10 worst. But as I came to Korea, everyone kept telling me like to go to the hospital for like minor things. If I have a cough, if I don't know, sneeze too hard or something, they're like, why don't you go to the hospital? Like, girl, no. Like, that was one of the first shocking things I ever like experienced in Korea, is how much people get treated for healthcare. That sounds kind of sad, doesn't it? Actually, now I'm thinking about it, it sounds very like third world. Anyway, yeah, in Korea, their healthcare system is actually really good. And I guess maybe it's like the rest of the world. I don't know. I'm from America. But you can go and it's not going to cost you an arm and leg, which is like wild thinking back, because what's that about, America? I need to know. Number two, sharing is caring. I realize in America, what's yours is yours and what's mine is mine, and we have a very thin line between those things. Like, for example, sharing food. I mean, yeah, like in the US, I shared my food, but usually when you order your own plate, right? This is my plate, and if you want something from my plate, you better ask me. Don't just grab my stuff. That's really disrespectful. Like, come on, girl, I don't got a pity to be sparing like that. So number 3 on this list is controversial opinions. And I say controversial opinions because some topics in the US are kind of off the table. Like, we had that whole thing like Thanksgiving topics or something like that. Like, stuff you're not supposed to say at the Thanksgiving table, which is, yeah, I mean, I guess everywhere, every country has that. But there's certain topics that I didn't realize shouldn't be controversial, if that makes sense. Case in point, when I moved to Korea, my first year here, all the co-teachers started talking about global warming. And immediately I was like, girl, can we talk about this? Like, what if there's someone in the room that doesn't agree with it? Saying it kind of makes me feel stupid, but honestly, it is what it was, right? And then right after I had that thought, I realized it's talking about the environment. There's nothing to be offended over because it is the environment and the state that our environment is. So yeah, after that moment, I realized, oh, I guess that we can talk about that. It's okay to talk about things like the environment in Korea. Number 4 on this list is wearing all black. Okay, here we go. So in the US, right, we do have a really bad outlook on how certain people of color are dressed. Like, for example, if a person of color is dressed in all black, maybe he's wearing a hoodie or she's wearing a hoodie, that can be perceived to someone as a threat that is worth
unaliving
or that is worth putting in jail. It is a danger to see a person of color wearing those colors. When I was in the US, I would actively avoid wearing all black if I were walking down the street, if I was going to the store, because I didn't want to be perceived as something, like as a threat, as something to be taken down or to be arrested. I didn't want people to look at me and decide who I was in that moment, that I was bad in that moment. I didn't wear all black like that. But as soon as I came to Korea, I made the realization that if I were to wear all black, and this might not be the case for everyone here in Korea, but for me personally, I could wear all black and not be perceived as dangerous. And then next, that's also part of number 4, is safety in general, girl. In the US, there is no possible way I can walk out on the street alone as a woman at night. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. It is so much more dangerous to do basic things like that as a woman in the US, and sometimes as a man as well, but clearly I'm a woman, so I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. I noticed when I came to Korea, and I'm not saying, disclaimer, part two, Korea is not the safest country in the world. If you are going to come to Korea, do not have the perception that Korea is just the safe place and that you can do whatever you want, because girl, let me tell you, it is not. It is also dangerous. But as a woman here, you can do a little bit more. You can walk at night in the street. Now, am I saying go outside every night and walk on the street? No, girl, maybe sometimes you will run into dangerous people. But in the general aspect of it, in the general topic of everything, you can walk at night alone on the street, and most times you will be completely safe to do so. No, like those things, those safety things in the US, it's really lacking, girl, because I feel like I am not 100%. I feel way more safer than I have ever felt in the US in Korea, if that makes sense. All right, and let's go to our number 5 topic. Number 5 is constant fear of your life, right? So it's no surprise that America has a lot of problems, you know what I mean? It's not a surprise. And so wherever you go, you should be vigilant. You should be looking out for where you are, looking at the people around you, looking at the situation around you, because you never know when something might pop off. So I didn't know how used to that feeling I was. Constantly thinking about, should I go into this building? Is there people carrying in this building? Am I alone? Do I know where the exits are? Those type of things. Those are things that I subconsciously thought about when I was out in public in the US, because that's something you have to look out for in the US. And maybe other countries too, but I'm a USian. I don't really have to worry about a mass situation happening in Korea. Like, for example, this story embarrasses me to this day. But one day I was in Seoul with one of my friends, and at this time it was a weekend, and Korea had just opened up, and like opened up from the corona restrictions, so everyone was like flocking to Seoul. And this was like maybe a month or two before the Itaewon incident, so the crowds were there, they were back. And we had just gotten to the Seoul station, and me and him were walking together, and there's a lot of people, there's a big crowd, and we're all going up the little escalator thing, and he casually said, "Oh, look at that, they're shooting." And immediately I was like, "They shooting!" Like, I started to panic, because they shooting means someone's out here. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, "Wait, what?" And then he was like, "No, they're doing a photo shoot. They're using their cameras." And I was like, "Oh." And I mean, honestly, I got laughed at. I realized at that moment, I'm so conditioned to, when I hear those words, someone's about to end a lot of people's days, if you know what I mean, and I need to go to safety. But in Korea, that's not a worry. So that's it. That's my top 5 ways that America has ruined the way I think. And honestly, she owes me
A paycheck for my mental.
I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really interested in hearing your experiences in different countries versus in America. Tell me if you agree, tell me if you don't agree. I want to know these things. Okay guys, well, give me a big hug. I love you, bye.